Dara, Shikoh and Aurangzeb, a tale of two brothers, two ideologies. Dara Shikoh, also known as Dara Shikoh, was the eldest son of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan and was considered his heir apparent. Aurangzeb was his younger brother and was also a contender for the Mughal throne. Dara Shikoh was a liberal and tolerant prince who was interested in Sufism and Hinduism, and he had a good relationship with Hindus and other non-Muslims. Totally opposite to this was Aurangzeb, a conservative and orthodox prince who believed in strict adherence to Islamic law and customs. Contribution of Dara Shikoh in arts and literature. Dara Shikoh was a patron of the arts and literature and is remembered as a prominent figure in the cultural history of India. He was a scholar and an intellectual who had a keen interest in literature, philosophy, and mysticism. Dara Shikoh made significant contributions to the development of the Persian language in India. He commissioned translations of Sanskrit and Hindu texts into Persian, which helped promote exchange of ideas and knowledge between the two cultures. He also patronized Persian poets and writers, including the renowned poet Sadi. Dara Shikoh was a prolific writer himself and authored several works on theology, philosophy, and mysticism. His most famous work is the ul-Bahrain, which literally translates to the mingling of two oceans. It explores the similarities between Hinduism and Islam. He also translated the Upanishads into Persian. Dara Shikoh supported the development of music, painting, and architecture. He commissioned the construction of several buildings, including a library and a mosque in Delhi. Dara Shikoh's patronage of the arts and literature helped to promote cultural exchange and fostered a spirit of tolerance and openness. He remains an important figure in the cultural history of India and is remembered as a champion of religious and cultural diversity. On the other hand, Aurangzeb's reign was marked by religious intolerance and persecution of Hindus, which has led many historians to characterize his rule as a nightmare for Hindus. During his reign, Aurangzeb introduced a number of policies that discriminated against Hindus and other non-Muslims. He reimposed the jizya tax on non-Muslims, which had been abolished by his grandfather Emperor Akbar, and destroyed many Hindu temples and shrines. He also banned the celebration of Hindu festivals and prohibited Hindus from practicing their faith openly. Aurangzeb's religious policies led to widespread discontent and rebellion among Hindus, who saw their way of life and cultural heritage threatened. The Marathas, a Hindu warrior community, rose up against Aurangzeb's rule and launched a long and bloody war of resistance against Mughal forces. While it is true that many Hindus suffered under Aurangzeb's rule, it is important to note that not all Hindus were persecuted. Some Hindus were able to prosper and even rise to positions of power and influence in the Mughal court. It is also worth noting that Aurangzeb's legacy is complex and controversial. While his policies towards Hindus and other non-Muslims were undoubtedly repressive, he was also a pious and devout Muslim who sought to uphold Islamic law and promote Islamic values. Some modern scholars argue that his actions must be understood in the context of the time and the political and religious pressures he faced. The relationship between Dara Shikoh and Aurangzeb was fraught with tension and rivalry due to their competing claims to the throne. As Shah Jahan's health declined, a power struggle ensued between Dara Shikoh and Aurangzeb, with each trying to garner support from various factions of the Mughal court. In 1657, Shah Jahan fell seriously ill, and a war of succession broke out between Dara Shikoh and Aurangzeb. In 1659, Aurangzeb emerged victorious, and Dara Shikoh was captured, tried for heresy, and executed.